Happy New Year, everyone. We are finally in 2024. By the time as I post this video, it'll be like 2 days after the fact, but that's okay. Happy New Year. I am wishing you guys a successful year. I'm wishing you a year of restoration. I'm wishing you a year of abundance, acceleration. I'm wishing you a year of vindication and everything else that you could possibly want. I'm wishing you double in this season. So Happy New Year, guys. So now that we are finally here in the new year, a lot of us are still trying to understand what the heck that was in 2023. Personally, I'm not trying to figure it out anymore. I just kind of said, okay, God, I saw what you did. I see what you're trying to teach me. And I just took it for what it is and just kind of like, okay, cool. But with that, we underwent pruning. A lot of persons went pruning and didn't realize it. I personally didn't realize it was full pruning until like the last quarter of the year. Some people are going to be intentional about pruning because we are still in the winter season. We faced a lot of challenges, a lot of up and downs. We lost things, we gained things, we learned valuable lessons, and transition. We went into a period of transition. But in the midst of all of that, we got a lot of self-reflection. We did a lot of trying to untangle what needed to be untangled. And when I say that, there probably was a lot of confusion, like I said in the beginning, where we were all trying to figure out exactly what was 2023 really about. A lot of people were trying to figure out navigation. A lot of people were confused. There was no order. However, let's embrace restoration era, a time dedicated to restoring, refreshing, releasing, and actively pursuing what is rightfully ours. I would encourage you guys to read Joel chapter 2, 23 to 28, 1 Samuel 30, and Leviticus 25, 1 to 14 for inspiration and guidance. Now, when I do talk about those Bible verses or those Bible chapters, they all have one thing in common. They're all talking about God reviving and God restoring his people. It also talks about how he told the people, like I know 1 Samuel 30, that talks about how God, that's the story with David. And in the story with David, basically in that God would have told David, go to the camp where the enemies were and get everything that belonged to you. And God had to give David's war team strength because not everyone had energy to go. So with the men that David had who were willing to go, they went, and God just made a way for them, and they waxed on and moved strong, moved forward. They went to the enemy's camp and they restored everything that the enemy stole from them, and they were able to take the enemy's possessions as well. And then in Leviticus, it just talks about basically persistency, being persistent in prayer. Like I said, those three books have one thing in common, specifically to the chapters and the verses I told you about, and that's all about restoration, recovering, and all that stuff. And that is what I truly am believing God to do this year for many of us and for many of his people. I'm not a prophetess. I just like to talk to you guys, but I am speaking over everyone who is watching this video that restoration is yours, vindication is yours, abundance is yours. Continue to move forward with the plans that you have, move forward with the dreams, the goals, the visions, whatever God would have downloaded you with, whatever instructions he would have given you, follow those instructions. For some of you, he didn't give you all no instructions. Go over the prophecies that he gave y'all the beginning of 2023. Some of y'all didn't even follow those instructions, and those are probably the instructions that you need to follow. Listen back to the voice notes of sermons that you guys listen to, or sermons that you guys watch on YouTube, or sermons that you recorded in church. Those were your instructions right there. So move forward with the plans. I know I literally had some instructions 2 or 3 years ago with something that I wanted to do, and to be honest with y'all, I got discouraged and I didn't do it anymore. I actually stopped in the middle of me doing it. I stopped, and the end of 2023, God brought me right back, and I had to sit with myself and say, okay, Azalea, you just need to suck it up, bite the bullet, don't watch no one, stay in your lane, and do what it is that you're supposed to do. So move forward with the plan, move forward with the business, move forward with the paperwork, and get in your home, get in the store, whatever you need to do, because it's yours. It's time to move. And another thing that I do want to say, just as the Lord emptied and had to purify my cup, he is doing the same with you guys. You know, sometimes we have a cup. We have a cup that has blessings in it, and that the cup is filled. But sometimes the cup can get a little contaminated with things that don't need to be in the cup. And like I said in the previous post, God literally had to empty my cup, and my cup had to start over. And you know, I didn't quite understand it when it was happening, not until after the fact, when I really sat down, went through meditation, listened to the words of God, and I realized that's what he had to do. So a lot of us had to get our cups emptied so that he can fill it with what it needs to be filled with. But make sure your cup is filled and full before you fill someone else's cup. I know we all have this habit where we tend to put ourselves as a back burner, or we tend to pour and pour and pour. But what can you pour to your people or your friends or your family if your cup is empty? What are you pouring into these other people if your cup is contaminated? You don't even know your cup is contaminated by different things, but that's a different topic for another day. So another thing that I want to say is, in God restoring everyone and in God restoring us in this new year, God is bringing back hope, faith, love. He is renewing our mental, physical, and emotional health. Not only is God doing that, but he is restoring finances. He is restoring love. He's restoring relationships. He's reconciling some relationships. He's going to fix some relationships. I saw a post the other day. Well, I didn't see it. My friend, she saw it, and we were on the phone, and she was telling me about it. And me and her were talking about marriages and stuff, and we were saying we noticed a lot of people are getting married, a lot of people getting engaged and stuff like that. And in the middle of us having a conversation, she was like, you see how we just finished talking about this? I said, yeah, what happened? She said, listen to this post, and it says how God is about to restore kingdom marriages and kingdom relationships and just different stuff like that. And I said, yeah, because this new year, 2024, God is restoring everything, especially to his people when the enemy attacked them left and right. Remember the verse that talks about preparing a table in front of my enemies? That's what this is. People are going to watch you be restored to your finances. He is restoring relationships, friendships, family relationships. He's fixing the love. He's restoring hope and faith and love to his people who have lost hope. He is bringing that back. And sometimes I feel like God is about to do this thing where you don't even have to really do anything. He's just going to give it to you. He's just going to hand it to you, because a lot of us lost so much in 2023. I feel like we are now officially in that season where he's just going to be like, you know what? Because you've been so faithful to me. Through your depression, you still praise me. Through the hard times at work, you still praise me. Through you losing a bunch of money, you still praise me. And for that, he is going to do a new thing. He is restoring us in 2024. But I don't want to ramble too much longer, but I do want to say this. In this new year, I definitely want to say use discernment and wisdom. Ask for strength and ask for courage. Continue to ask for resilience. Continue to ask for fearlessness and boldness. God did not give us a spirit of fear, and we can't be afraid to ask for what we want and fight for what we want. But please use discernment and please use wisdom. Please remember the hard lessons that you had to learn. The lessons that you learned during your storm, remember those things, because you're going to need it. Those are going to be like your cheat codes for the 2024 year. And like I've told someone earlier last week, I want to say, I said to them, the first 3 months of 2024 are going to be very crucial. And it's going to be crucial because the first 3 months or the first quarter is going to determine how the rest of your year goes and how the rest of your other years are going to go. It's going to set that real foundation. So that is something that I want to say. I also want to tell y'all, maintain silence in this new year. Unintentional disruptions may interfere with the process. Seek God for restoration. Rid yourself of pride and ego. Pray daily. Consider fasting. If you're not a faster, consider fasting. There are different types of fast. You have Esther, Daniel, and a couple other fasts. They are the main ones that came in my head. Sow seeds, pray faithfully, and pay your tithes with expectation. Pray with the expectation this year. Sow your seeds with expectation. Don't curse your seed. Don't put your seed in the envelope. You getting ready to give it, or someone asks you for the last $5 in your pocket and you're like, babe, I don't want to give them the seed, this and that and the third, but you still give it to them. Don't do that. Don't complain in this new year. If someone says they need something, like it's like you looking at it as a seed, just give it. Don't complain, because when you curse your seed, you curse in your own self and you withholding your blessings. So if you're not someone who's a faithful seed sower, start sowing your seeds. Start paying your tithes. I can tell y'all, paying tithes and sowing seeds goes a very long way. That does not necessarily mean that you're gonna get money back. Sometimes you get the blessing in a way that you didn't expect. I have several testimonies when I was down to my very last. I can't wait to share that testimony with y'all in the future, but not right now. But God has been so faithful where I didn't have it, and I would give my last, my absolute last, and God just brought it back to me. So that is something I want to say, as well as prepare for spiritual warfare, because the enemy is going to try 10 times harder to get y'all to get distracted. He's going to do whatever he can to cause y'all to forfeit. But bring out your Bibles, bring out your oils, and welcome 2024, because we are actively pursuing, overtaking, and recovering everything that belongs to us. And last but not least, before I do my final send off and break y'all with some interesting news, may this year be a journey of restoration, abundance, and spiritual growth. Embrace the process and may God's blessing overflow in your life. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Sending you guys love. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you all for supporting me. This year 2023 was one for the books. It was one for the books. We got to 100, and as of right now, as I'm recording this, I'm out of 135 subscribers. Y'all, let's try to get this to 200 subscribers by the end of 2024. Maybe more, maybe we get 1,000. I also want to say that I am taking a break, a mini sabbatical. I do not know how long I'm taking this sabbatical for, but I do need to disappear for a minute and regroup and recuperate myself, because to pour into your cups, I got to make sure my cup's straight. So with that being said, I will see you all sometime in the new year, somewhere down the line. I love you all so much. Thank you for your continuous support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on all my social medias. Make sure you check out my blog, my website. And I will see y'all later down in 2024. I love you. Bye. I'm tired. I'm going on vacation. Bye, guys.